like, I just feel like, introducing. And so let me bring Kim Dechaine. And many of you know Kim because she has spoken before and she speaks to your hearts. So she's the person that when you are a leader or an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur and you're feeling, shall I say, flooded in your prefrontal cortex. Should I say that? Because we don't want to say that, oh world, is that what Kim does is very real. She works with people that are having that experience and she wants to catch you in the anti-burnout stage. She wants to catch you before you get there. And when you're taking on projects, no matter of this size or any size, there comes with it that sense of, I call it the multiplex, right? Stepping into the world of entrepreneurship is like stepping into a 5-ring circus and with multiple tents, and you don't know which one to go to. You don't know how long to stay there. And there's many things that you're wearing. And this is this woman's specialty. She's close to our heart. She came into our team and did an incredible meditation, just this really powerful meditation for the whole team to keep us going, to help you have success in events today. So Kim, I'm going on and on about you, but thank you so much for coming. She is incredibly powerful working with leaders. She is an anti-burnout coach. She is an international best-selling author. She is a motivational, inspirational, and I would say educational speaker. That's what I would say. And we're going to talk today. What are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about today, Kim?
We're going to talk about the power of the pause.
Power of the pause. I have a little card here. I've always said that my office looks like an Oprah, Brene Brown, Tony Robbins garage sale. And I have a little thing here, power of the pause. Have you been to the balcony today? That's some advice she gave me because that's where I go and get some refreshment. I'm going to let you just go with it. I just have a gut feeling that someone needs to hear what you say right now.
All right, let's go. Hello, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here. Quick question to start off. Hands up if you have felt stress in the last month. How about in the last week? How about today? I see, most of us are going to have our hands up. And so stress is normal. And I think sometimes we just need to really accept that there is no life without stress, but how we cope with it and how we deal with it, we do have choices over. So stress is there to protect us. And when we are feeling stressful, our heart rate increases, our respiration increases, and there's increasing blood flow, our brain processes, and it decides whether we're going to fight, whether we're going to run away, or whether we are going to freeze in that moment. So we have two kinds of stress. We have acute stress, which came from a long time ago when the saber-toothed tiger was chasing us. Adrenaline went up so we could run away. And then after we got away, we would go back to a baseline. Okay, so that's acute stress. It's there to keep us safe. But now what we're struggling with the most is chronic stress, where we are putting ongoing pressure on our nervous system. And that excess adrenaline and blood pressure that's rising increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. It affects our body. It doesn't just affect our brain, but it affects our overall health. So right now, and when we're in that chronic stress, it only takes 3 weeks for it to start to affect your mental health and your physical health negatively. 3 weeks, that's it. So I'm going to ask you another question right now. Who feels right now that they're in chronic stress where they're just it's just always there? Yeah. So I want you to look around, ladies. You are not alone. Hey, this is number one. We are not alone in this. This is the norm, which makes me sad. We do not want this to be the norm, and we don't want to accept this as the norm. So I'm here to kind of change your thought process with this. So this is what happened to me. And so this is where my passion comes from. I always say in my previous life, I was a school teacher for 13 years. Chronic stress, completely burnt out from that complete burnout. My body shut down. I ended up with a brain infection, got really sick, then fell into a deep depression, anxiety that lasted for about 10 years. Suicidal thoughts, having children within that, and just not being able to, get out of bed to even look after my children. So luckily for me, I had an amazing support system that helped me to get out of what I called my deep, dark pit, but it was the chronic stress that led me there. And so my passion now is prevention. And so I'm going to give you a Kim stat. Okay? So this is just me, but I truly believe that 80% of overwhelm, burnout, depression, and anxiety can be prevented. It is a societal problem that we have. And so we actually have the power to change that. And that is what I am here to do with you. So whether it's burnout, whether it's overwhelm, whether it's chronic stress, I want to be here to help you navigate through it or to prevent it. So let's just talk a little bit about what's happening in our brains. So we have this chronic stress, and then we have these neural pathways that go to our autopilot reactions. Right? So think of a stress trigger, your children, a coworker, your boss, and it triggers us. The neural pathway goes, and we panic, we have anxiety, we have stress. And that's what our autopilot is. But instead, we actually want to create new pathways so that when we still have those same stress triggers, we go along and all of a sudden, instead, we have perspective, calm, and reason. And I want you to know that this is possible, to be able to create these new pathways. And, the scientific side of, if that's where you're thinking, neuroplasticity is the big name for this, but our brain can actually just create these new pathways. And the amazing news is that, again, in 3 weeks, if you start working on creating these new pathways, your body will adjust and it will begin to reap the benefits and begin to heal. Right? You'll see a decrease in your blood pressure, in pain, in irritability. So you only need to start with one thing, one small thing that I know all of you can do, and that is to pause. There is power in the pause. Now, many of you might feel that might cause some of you even a little anxiety, like, oh no, I don't pause, I don't, rest, I don't sit in quiet, because you are stuck in that energy of doing. We have been taught this is how we get our self-worthiness, how busy I am, how much I do. Okay? But again, it's connecting to our health physically and mentally. So I want to remind you right now, you are not a human doing. You are a human being. And so we have to learn how to be in the moment. And so how we do that is to learn how to pause. We literally have to slow down so we can speed up. And we also need to remember that this is a wellness practice. None of this stuff just comes by doing it one time when we are practicing the strategies that I'm going to be talking about. So if you want to learn how to run a marathon, you don't just go out, run once and go to a marathon, right? You have to practice and you increase every time that you go. You go a little bit farther, a little bit farther. So when you are pausing, you are also practicing what we call mindfulness, is kind of that big word. But all that means is just being in the moment, being present. And that allows your brain to choose that calm, that perspective, and that reason. And so we're just going to teach it how to do that. So I like to compare it to a waterfall. So if you are standing underneath a waterfall, it is heavy. Right? It's going to push you down. You can't see anything. You can't hear anything. It is so loud. Now, if I take a step behind the waterfall, Okay? The waterfall is still there, but I can see, right? I can hear now, and I feel so much lighter. So let's compare that waterfall to the stress, the acute stress that we are in. And when we take the step away from it, that is the pause. That is being in the moment. The stress is still there, but we actually can now think clearly. We can make better choices. We feel lighter. So that's how I kind of like people to really think about that. So the power of the pause is twofold. The first part is to really literally pause and stop what you're doing, be in the moment. And the second part is to take some deep breaths. It has been proven we can literally breathe through stress and overwhelm. And we can breathe peace and calm into our mind and our body. So I want you to think right now, like, when do you take deep breaths? A lot of times I find it when I might be a little frustrated, right? Might even have a little there. My teenage daughters notice that all the time. Or just a big sigh. Sometimes my husband will be sitting on the couch and I hear him do this big sigh and I'll be like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing. I just had to breathe. And I'm like, right. Like, we do not take enough deep breaths throughout the day. And our body's like, hey, I need some more oxygen right now. How about, so in the daytime, we are actually teaching our body to be in the stress, that chronic stress mode all the time by just how we act during the day. So especially if we're sitting at a desk, lots of times, you know, we might hunch over. We don't allow our lungs to fully expand. We also take shallow breaths because we're in a hurry. We're always busy. And so we don't take those deeper breaths. And have you ever noticed yourself holding your breath? There'll be times where I'm like in the middle of something that it's like, I don't think I was breathing there. I literally held my breath. Okay? So this is teaching our body that we're in stress mode when we are breathing that way, even if we're not in any stress at that time. So we have to make sure that we're sending the proper messages to our brain and to our body. Okay? So let me just give you a little bit research-wise on what taking slower, deeper breaths has been proven to do. Lowers our blood pressure, lowers our heart rate, improves our immunity, decreases pain. I mean, especially all of us women, if you have a child, if you go through childbirth, what do they teach you? How to breathe. There's a reason for that. It increases our energy, our focus, our productivity. It improves our digestion, and it literally trains our brain to slow down. All right, so I want you right now to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And I just want you to take one moment and just notice how you breathe. And just notice if one hand moves more than the other. Okay, so just notice. Okay, now put in the chat, what hand do you notice, if any? And you might not even notice any hands moving. Maybe it's your chest. Maybe it's your belly. Which hand did you notice moving? Belly, chest. Belly, belly, chest, belly. Perfect. Yeah. So awesome. So people that said belly, well done, because lots of times it's not. Lots of times we're feeling it in our chest. We do want to feel it more often than not in our belly. Okay? So let's just learn quickly how to breathe properly. Okay? Always breathing in. If we're practicing, we're always breathing in through our nose. Because if you breathe in through your mouth, you are telling your body you're in stress. So if someone scares you, jumps out and scares you, what do? We go, and instantly our body's like, oh, fight, flight, or freeze. Okay, so breathe in through your nose. Instantly that tells your brain, oh, we need to slow down. She wants us to calm down right now. Okay? Then you're just going to breathe in all the way down, expand your belly like a balloon. Okay? And you literally have to over exaggerate it at the beginning because so we can train our body. Okay? So I want you to try it right now. Put your hands on your belly so that you can feel it. And I just want you to breathe in through your nose slowly, take the air all the way down, allow your belly to expand. And then as you breathe out, allow your belly to contract and just exaggerate it a bit with that expanding and contracting. One more time, deep breath in, expand, expand, and then deep breath out, contract. Awesome, well done. Okay, so I have 2 pause challenges to leave you with today. Right? So the first one is to literally practice pausing, stopping, and taking 3 deep breaths. So this is my pause sticky. Okay. So my pause sticky is at the end of my hallway right outside my office. So that when I go there, I see it, I stop, 3 deep breaths. So when I work with women, lots of times, we brainstorm, where can I put these at work and at home? So your bathroom mirror, right? When you get up in the morning, on your fridge, in a cupboard, when you open it, as you open one cupboard, oh, there it is, 3 deep breaths. On the outside of my office door, so that every time I come in, or on the inside, every time I go out. Okay? It's a really, really simple thing, but it's not easy because we never choose it to make the time just to pause and take a breath. And what I love so much, though, is that some of the women in my mastermind, they loved it so much. They actually went and made keychains. Like they're these little metal keychains with the pause on it, because they said that it's changed their life, because they literally now have more control over their thoughts, their feelings, and actions because they've learned how to pause with the pause practice. So after this, make a couple stickies. They don't have to be fancy, and put them. Do not put them on your computer if you sit at your computer all the time, because you're not going to do it, right? If it's always in front of us, we're not going to remember to do it. Okay, so that is your first homework. Now, the second challenge is 1 minute a day, you stop and do a breathing exercise. And I have had people tell me they can't do it. They do not have 1 minute a day. They are way too busy for that. And I call BS. And if any of you go on, ever go on social media, you have 1 minute to breathe. Okay. So you choose the time of the day that you're going to do it. So is it in the morning? Is it when you go to the bathroom? I mean, you're sitting there anyway. You might as well just do 1 minute of breathing. Is it when you pull up to work and you're going to sit in your car? For me, I find that if I pull up to work and I get out, then when I sit down before I open my computer, 3 deep breaths. Okay. So there's many different times that you can do it. You set an alarm to that time for every day, because we will forget. And then when that alarm goes off, you're going to do it. And I encourage you to set a timer for 1 minute, because partway through, you're going to be like, oh, I wonder if I'm done. I wonder if I've gone long enough. Do you think it's been a minute already? And then you're checking, and it defeats the purpose of the pause and the breathing within it. Okay. So within that breathing, it can look different for that 1 minute, because guess what? And I don't know, maybe you'll be surprised in this, that we all have this overwhelming, we want to overthink things, and we get stuck in monkey brain, where one thing leads to the next thing, to the next thing. And all of a sudden we're thinking about something that we didn't even start with thinking about, right? It's monkey brain is normal, and it is normal for women. Very normal. Okay. So I'm going to teach you just a couple exercises to take with you to help with that monkey brain. When that monkey brain happens for that 1 minute, if something pops in, all you do is notice it. Oh, there it is. Kim told me it's normal. And you go back to breathing. You're kind to yourself. You're not, oh my gosh, like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep thinking I can't do this? Just, oh, monkey brain, hi. And I'm going back to my breathing. So we're going to try a couple here that will help us then so that we can kind of get rid of that monkey brain. So first one we're going to do is called the 4 and 6 breathing. So all you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for the count of 4, and you're going to breathe out for the count of 6. Okay? So we're going to try it here. We're going to try it for 2 breaths. So here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. Well done. Now the next one is 4 square. So when we are counting like this helps us so that we don't get caught up in that monkey brain. Okay? So 4 square is breathing in for the count of 4, holding it for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4. Okay, so let's try 1 cycle. So deep breath in, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Awesome. The next one is called Peace Begins with Me. And so this one actually has kinesthetic. So we're going to be moving our fingers, we're going to be touching our fingers together, and we're going to be saying words. So when you are doing this, again, it stops that monkey brain. So we breathe in a deep breath, expanding that belly. And as we breathe out, we either say out loud or in our head, peace begins with me. Okay, so let's try it 2 rounds. So deep breath in and out. Peace begins with me. Again, deep breath in, out. Peace begins with me. Well done. And then the last one I want to leave you with is you stand up behind, wherever you want. You breathe in, you go up on your tiptoes slowly. As you breathe out, you go down, back flat-footed. You breathe in, go up on your tiptoes, and then breathe out and just go back down. So, you're getting a little movement in there too, but these things help us so that we don't get caught in that overthinking. Okay. Well done, everyone. So now just notice right now, we've been doing some breathing. Let me know. How are you feeling?
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay. Awesome.
Yay.
I saw Kelly doing that. Awesome.
Yes. Excellent.
More peace.
Yeah. So what I challenge you ladies is to become a human being again. Start your practice and make that change today. 1 minute, 3 breaths. That's it. Embrace the power of that pause. This is going to bring you clarity, calm, mental, emotional, and physical health. We are in this together, so let's be together as one. This is that together, right? Together we can do it. Let's be together also. So excited, and thank you, Deb and Sandy, for just an amazing day.
Actually, awesome. We want to thank you. There was a couple of things that I didn't share with Kim in the beginning because I just had this get her speaking. I don't know who needed to hear something before they left, and I don't know who left, but I'm so glad, and thank you so much. And it was beautiful to just be interactive, right? It really got us into our bodies, and we've been sitting for a little bit. So thank you so much. I just want to tell you, this woman is not only amazing in what she does, but she's part of the -20 club. I personally never knew what that was. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you come to my house, it's like a friggin' sauna in here. People are like, oh my God. So the -20 club, in case you didn't know, has nothing to do with an airplane. It has to do with the fact that she slept outside for 3 days in -20. I didn't even know that club existed. Good for you. I'm sure Emily loves cold places. I'm sure she loves.
This is an Alberta thing,
Alberta thing.
It's a cold thing.
Cold thing. And her music that she loves is Ed Sheeran. And she has a gift for everybody. Guess what? It's an energy alignment meditation. Now you know why. And one person gets to spend some time with her like I do and love and adore. And she's going to gift somebody an energy alignment session. And I'm going to make this easy for you because you were in your bodies and out of your bodies. And I wrote down all sorts of questions here, but she talked about us having a funky kind of brain. It wasn't a tiger brain. It wasn't a kitty cat brain. It wasn't a puppy dog brain. It wasn't an elephant. So just what kind of brain do we have with your email? You have to put your email because we're super good. Like we are amazing, but we don't know your emails and we just can't pull that out of the air. So you have to put the answer and the email for everybody's prize today. And there's tens of thousands of dollars of prizes. Thank you so much, Miss Kim Dechaine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She also is in the book. I'm so excited. So let's go back to gallery view. And as we do, let's give some love and let's give some love and let's give some love because together we can. That is awesome.